Hi, this is Zev, the founder of Holistic Healing Astrology, and I'm here today to talk about Uranus, the planet of liberation. There's a lot going on right now with the influence of Uranus, so you probably will relate to a lot of what I'm going to say today. It is the first of the outer planets. The transpersonal planets were Jupiter and Saturn, but now these are the generational outer planets because they're far away and they cycle around slowly. So if they're in your chart, the moon goes around like this in your chart, all around the whole wheel, okay? Fast. 2 to 3 days in every sign. And within a month, it went around the whole wheel. Now, the personal planets, they go around like maybe, so like the sun. So that the sun is like, it stays in one sign a month. So Mercury, Venus, and Mars, they go around 1 to 2 months in a sign, okay? I'm averaging it out. But now we're talking about, and then the transpersonal ones, they're a few years, in the sign, depending if it's Jupiter or Saturn. But now when we're dealing with the outer planets, they could stay in the sign for years, many years, especially Pluto. And then we have to factor in the retrograde, which means that you're traveling along on the orbit and then you slow down, that's called stationing, and then you start going backwards. They really don't do it astronomically. It's an optical delusion, get it? And then it goes forward again. So it's the energy of, you've experienced this energy, now you're gonna feel that energy, now the energy is gonna go back, so you experience it again. And then the third time is a charm, they always say. So that's a retrograde. So if that is in a particular sign, let's say, the planet is in Aries. We'll start with Aries, the first sign. So Uranus is in Aries, and it's going in Aries, and then it stations, means it stops like a top. It's spinning, but not going anywhere. And then it goes backwards, and it's still in Aries. And then it goes forward. Now time is going on. It's still going, and then it goes. So all that extra backwards and forwards motion, it's still in the same sign, so it's going to be in the sign longer. So if you have planets and stuff in Aries, then you'll feel more of that energy, the Uranus. So what is Uranus? It's liberation, eccentricness, okay, originality. It's also genius, the mad scientist, rebellion, individuality, unique, different, unconventional, dramatized, shocking. It's also intuition, because intuition is when you just get a thought, boom. Your ego will say, that's crazy. And then it negates your intuition. But intuition is also categorized by Uranus, but it's also the moon, because you receive with the moon. So different levels of intuition, okay? Flashes of insight, intuition. Genius, nervous energy, unpredictability, all right? Deviance, extremism. It's where and how we seek change. It's also the Great Awakening, freedom, intuition. Everybody's talking about the Great Awakening because we're in the age of Aquarius, and the ruling planet of Aquarius is Uranus. But I don't want to go into that yet, but that's a heads up. It also is electricity, lightning bolts. So sudden changes, unusual, bizarre stuff, extraterrestrials. There's a lot of that in the news too. Interesting. Tornadoes when you're dealing with weather, and disruption. It's also risk-taking, upheavals, the unexpected, the scientist, a lack of inhibition, reform, a revolutionary spirit, detachment. That's a big one. I would circle that for a keyword because it's a detached energy. Not a lot of emotions there. So it's good for certain areas. We'll talk more about that in another video. It's also electronic media. And so that is the planet of Uranus. And I have more to say about that too. It's surprise too. It's the releases the tension that's out there. Restlessness. Doesn't like the status quo. Okay? So, high frequency. So that's basically what I have to say about Uranus. And then we do the same thing. You look at Uranus and see, instead of going through every single sign, you could say, okay, Uranus is in a fire sign. What does that mean? Well, it means the sudden changes will be fiery and explosive. So the element describes the planet, okay? The planet's the action, verb, hint, when you start translating astrology. So if it's Earth, then the sudden change or the revolution will be slow but solid and methodical. Okay? If the sudden changes are in air, then it would be on an intellectual level, and it would be quick and light, maybe not so heavy, you know, like Earth. Or it affects the intelligence. It affects the way people think, okay? If Uranus is in a water sign, then we're going to have a lot of emotions, sudden emotions, like, you know. So if you're born with Uranus in a water sign, you would be a person that gets emotional suddenly. Or, you know, and then we'd have to dig a little bit. That's why, too, when you go see an astrologer, you don't want those canned things they send you for $15, you know, this paper that you read it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to read, but it's not like having someone, a good astrologer, look at that chart, tease it all out, analyze every single piece of it, and understand the neutralizing effects of the different planets. Now you're getting a reading. I mean, I've had clients where they had a whole bunch of, you know, they had their sun in, let's say they had their sun in Aries, but they had all these planets in Scorpio. So they were more of a Scorpio than an Aries, but they didn't understand that. Once I showed them, look, all these planets are in Scorpio, then they started reflecting back and saying, and what planet's reflection? Moon. Okay? So they reflect back and they're saying, oh, that's why I do that. So you understand your personality, your behavior. That's where the free will comes in, and you could say, oh, well, I'm going to change that. It's that simple. I have helped so many people achieve what they want to get, you know, reach their highest potential, and simple, even with just one reading. But I always recommend that you get a follow-up reading at least once a year so you see what's coming up for the next year. I mean, that's what the rich do, you know, but they do it every month. They do it every time they're going to sign important papers. Yeah. This is serious stuff. You won't believe the clients I have. All kinds of smart people. I'd say 98% of my clients are real smart and successful. Very successful. They just want to be better. And they want to understand the world. And they want to understand the partners. If it were up to me, everybody'd have a chart. Everyone in the classroom would know each other's at least rising sign, sun sign, and moon sign. It would make things so much easier because then it's objective. And then you could tolerate because you go, oh, moon in Taurus, that's why. Or, Scorpio, that's why. People love to hear about Scorpio. So guess what? I'm going to do a nice, long video on Scorpio, Pluto, and all that, how it works together. Because I've had a lot of requests for more Scorpio, Pluto stuff. So it's coming, I promise. I just have to get this class material done. I appreciate your indulgence. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you want to share it, go ahead. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and put that little bell on, because then I don't do it every week because my schedule is so crazy. But I'll do them in batches. That's just the way I am. I'm not going to tell you why. You could figure it out. But I have a Gemini, a sun in the 8th house with a Scorpio ascendant. Now you could psychobabble me. I hope to talk to you soon. You know how to call me, 757-513-7771. Check out my website, Holistic Healing Astrology. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Those are the two that I really spend a lot of time on. So, till next time's going to be Neptune, another outer planet. Thank you.